I came to Japan to work as a nurse in a post-surgical unit. Patients come from hundreds of miles away to get their operations here. The surgeons are known to be the best. But what we don't tell the patients, what we're not supposed to tell them, is that this one is haunted. There have been more than a few events that have raised the hair on the back of my neck, and some have sent me into hysterical screaming fits. There was that time a few months ago when a patient told me she saw a woman wearing a red kimono stand beside her bed and watch her all night. The patient didn't see her face, as her black hair covered it.
Really? Where did you see her? There. She was standing right there.
The patient pointed at the curtains with a fearful face. I pulled back the curtains and showed her myself. All of the other beds were empty, and there was no visitors or staff in the room with her. As if that wasn't disturbing enough, a few weeks later, a different patient said the same thing, when she had been left alone in the same room.
Did you see her face? Oh, no, but I saw something else.
The patient was trembling like a timid rabbit.
What did you see? Her head was touching the ceiling. Her neck stretched up so high, almost like a snake.
Now that made my skin crawl a bit. I looked at the watch. It was 2:30 in the morning and I was already tired from pulling a night shift back to back in a row. I gave the patient some medicines to help her sleep. Once she fell asleep, I decided to stay awake in that ward. The ward has 6 beds and only one of them has a patient. Rests were neatly made, white beds waiting for their temporary owner. I picked up a magazine and sat on a chair. After 15 minutes, I could barely keep my eyes open. I knew it was against hospital rules, but I still laid down on the corner-side bed. It was honestly a quick and much-needed nap. I don't recall the time when I heard running footsteps on the wooden floor. I got up thinking someone has come, but found no one. The ward was empty like before. The one patient was now snoring.
Hello? Is anyone here?
My senses sharpened once I heard a woman's chuckling voice. The door was closed like I had left it a few moments back. This proves that the chuckle took place inside this room.
Mrs. Tanaka? Are you sleepwalking again?
I couldn't turn on the lights as it'll wake up the ailing patient. The night lamp wasn't enough, so I switched on the flashlight on my phone. I saw a woman dressed in a red kimono standing right beside the door. She was far from me, so I couldn't see her face. But one thing I could tell was that she was staring at me with an ear-to-ear smile.
Ah! Oh, God!
A sudden call from my mom almost gave me a heart attack.
Hi, Mom. Why are you still awake? Coco, are you all right? I'm perfectly fine, but why are you asking me this in the middle of the night? I had a very bad dream. Where are you? I'm at the hospital, Mom. Where else would I be? It's my night shift. Again. Did you say night shift? Yeah, why? I just saw you dozing off at your night shift and you were being watched by this strange woman. She wore this red kimono and was...
Before my mom could finish her sentence, the call got disconnected. The phone dropped off from my shivering hands. With a slow, erratic heartbeat, I turned around where I saw the creepy woman a few seconds back. But she was gone.
Hello? What do you want?
My eyes searched the entire room, but the woman was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, my phone lit up once again. It was again my mom calling. I crouched down to pick up my phone and accidentally my eyes went towards the patient's bed. I could see a pair of red feet peeking under a red kimono. I jumped and looked above the bed. There was no one.
What? Is this a nightmare?
By now, I have started to lose my mind. I just saw a woman's feet under the bed, but when I looked up, there was no one standing beside the patient's bed. I crouched down once again, and now again, I saw those bare feet. The nails on the big toes were missing, revealing the red, puffy flesh underneath. I froze in that position. I was scared to look up when suddenly the feet started rotating to the back. A loud, horrifying sound of bones breaking took place with each movement of them. My voice died down in my throat. I knew what the patients kept saying about this ward is true, and I might not probably make it out of this room alive tonight. Just when I was on the verge of crying, the woman's neck dropped and her head started to roll down on the floor. Like a snake, her long neck stretched to inhuman lengths and started coming at me.
Help!
I got up and started running towards the opposite side. I aimed for the door, but before I could get out, I tripped and fell. I laid on my back, knowing the laughter has come from a close distance. I didn't want to turn around, but I knew I have to. My head slowly arched back to catch a glimpse, and the woman's head was touching the ceiling. Her mouth was open, and blood was dripping from it. Her swirled, twisted neck moved side to side like a bobbing spring. I don't remember when I fainted. I naturally left that job at the hospital after my parents picked me up from the hospital. I was down with a fever. My grandma says Japanese people believe in this urban legend, which goes by the name Rokurokubi. They are said to be vengeful spirits roaming around at night. They love drinking their victims' blood, which made sense for her bleeding mouth. I don't know why she let me go or any other patient who stayed in that ward. There's still no news of her hurting anyone, but I guess she gets bored alone, hence decides to play with people for her entertainment. Whatever the reason may be, I'm never going near that hospital ever again.